You need to understand the law of accident. Not understanding this is what causes people to fail and never achieve their ambitions. This law starts with one simple equation. Failing to act equals acting to fail. This is important because this separates the people who seem to find success easy versus the people who stay stagnant. The people that are failing to act are the same people asking the questions, I don't know how to do that, or I don't know what I'm supposed to do, or even the people that say, I don't know when I'm going to be able to do this. Maybe I can start in a couple months or something. But there's a reason that these people aren't successful, and that's because they have one extreme problem. They blame externals. But then the question becomes, why do people do this with their business and their life? And that comes down to three simple things. The first being unconscious living, the second being having a deterministical mind, and the third being social blame conditioning. Living unconsciously can be summed up as having a reactive mind versus a proactive mind. You're reacting to your situation instead of trying to actually solve the problem. Having a deterministic mind is simply believing too much in luck and timing. People think when the time is right, something is just going to happen to them and that's what's going to change their life. And the third is social blame conditioning. And social blame conditioning is just caused by blame habit. This is why so many people start to blame their boss or their spouse or even politicians on all the problems that they have in their own life. If you're ready to get out of the cycle of acting to fail and actually start acting for success, what you need to do is follow something called action contrast. I have other videos on my page that describe how to use that. You need to understand the rich man's compass. This breaks down the 4 essential components within your business that you need to focus on if you actually want to be successful. The first focus is what you're doing needs to be in high demand. This is simply following the trend and the narrative of where the world is going. And I won't try to confuse you at all. The trend right now is AI. Your second focus should be something called action contrast. The easiest way to describe what action contrast is doing something called curriculum before enrollment. Imagine you were trying to be a nurse. Would you try to learn the entire curriculum before you enrolled in the school? The answer is obviously not. So what you need to do is flip this. You need to enroll, which is actually step 1, and then you learn the knowledge, which is the curriculum. The human brain is designed to learn while doing, not learn by thinking. The third focus is just value. This one simple thing is going to determine how much money you're able to make. A simple way to determine value is how big is the problem that you're actually solving for somebody. If the biggest problem that you can solve is taking a fast food order, you're probably not going to make very much money. But on the other hand, if you can solve a huge problem for another large business owner, you're going to make a lot of money. The fourth focus is outcome. And there's a reason that this is the north point of the compass. And that's because it is the most important piece. You could have a high demand business that provides a ton of value. You could take action on it and even make a ton of money. But if you don't get the outcome that you desired in the first place, what was the point of any of it? You don't want to be a slave employee to your business. You need to use these things to become an actual CEO and take back your time. Now, if you want to know a business follows every single one of these points and is the most high demand thing that you can do in 2025, shoot me a DM. I answer every question. You need to understand the attraction law. Using this is how you become an actual opponent and find success easier than everybody else. You need to picture this circle as you. The reason your life is the way that it is right now is you have to reach out for every single thing that you need. Whether that's finding a better job, building your network, figuring out what business to start, making more money. Every single thing that you do is because you reach out for it. And I'm using a red marker because this is important, but when you use the attraction law, things start to come to you. New opportunities, networking, and even money. But then the question becomes, how do you get rid of this part of your life and start attracting things? First of all, you need to go through something called a subconscious reset. This is how you make your entire brain work with you instead of against you. The way to do this is through a new brain pattern called the triangle of success. But before I tell you how to do this, I want to give you an actionable step to actually start attracting things. And this is something very simple. And I'll tell you what to do with a quote. Whatever you do, if you make content about it, you will outperform the competition. This is exactly why you see so many successful people starting to make content. People will reach out to you with opportunities. They will want to network with you, and this will help you make more money. So the actionable step is to start making content. Every single piece of content that you post is exactly like getting a free lottery ticket. Now, if you want to learn about the triangle of success, there's a full video on my profile that explains it. You need to understand the parable of the Chinese bamboo tree. This allows you to never waste failure and have intrinsic discipline. This parable starts with the Chinese farmer, and he decided to plant a seed of a bamboo tree. carefully prepared the soil and planted the seed with great care. But after an entire year of waiting, the seed hadn't shown any signs of life. By the second year, the entire village was laughing and mocking the farmer because the bamboo tree wasn't visible at all, but something was happening under the soil. After year 3, the exact same thing. No spout had broken through the soil. By the 4th year, absolutely nobody in the village believed that this bamboo tree was going to grow. But the farmer knew something that they didn't, and it was what was happening underground. But in a single month of the 5th year, the bamboo tree had grown over 80 feet tall. This is exactly why people think successful entrepreneurs got lucky or they're an overnight success. Everybody sees the bamboo tree, but nobody sees the roots. In this first year, all that there was a seed and a belief. And that is all you need to begin your journey of being successful. Because while you're growing your roots, you're doing something called skill stacking, which I have another video on my page that explains what that is. You need to understand the 50th law. This is written by the same author as the 48 Laws of Power, and it allows you to never overthink again. When your brain is thinking, it's either using fear or confidence. Whichever one you choose is the way that your brain is going to act. This breakdown is important because it's going to show you how to negate fear and choose confidence every time. When you choose fear, the reality that you desire is paralyzed. When you choose confidence, the reality that you desire is liberated. So most people would think that you need to practice being confident. But in the 50th law, it teaches that you need to wield fear. The effect of wielding fear is what grants you freedom. And this is what allows you to have an empowered mind. Instead of saying, I don't know how to do something, the empowered mind will allow you to ask, how will I do something? Now let's put this into practice. What you need to start with is writing down your fears. And you need to actually dig deep when you're doing this. I'm not talking about being afraid of spiders and heights and things like that. I'm talking about things that are deeper failures. Things like not achieving the life that you actually dream of. Disappointing your parents and not being able to retire them. These types of questions. One of the simplest ways to overcome these fears is to read them daily. This is what's going to allow you to become self-reliant and set your own frequency, which I have other videos on my page that describe how to do that. You need to understand the triangle of success. So if we have a triangle, and just ignore my drawings, and you are the triangle, you need to have a few specific attributes. Number 1, you need to be in high demand. Why would you try to go and learn something like drop shipping or SMMA or things that worked 5 or 10 years ago? You need to learn new and upcoming technologies, things that have to do with AI, things that have to do with crypto. You just need to be on top of the narrative and do things that are up and coming instead of things that are slowly dying. And the second part of the triangle is you need to be the best at what you do. Now, if you're a beginner, this can be a challenge, but there's a few simple things that you can do to ensure you're the best. Number 1 is you need to be different. I can't even tell you how many DMs I get every single day of people saying, hey Johnny, I'll build you a personal brand. I'll help you make money with your personal brand. But every single DM is the exact same, and I'm obviously never gonna buy from any of those guys just because none of them do anything different. A good way to think about this is if you're building an e-commerce store, are you gonna have cheaper products? Are you gonna have higher quality products? Are you gonna sell to a different market? These are the things that make you different and make you better than all of your competition. And the third piece of the triangle is you need to be irreplaceable. And the way to do this is extremely simple. You can't be replaced by AI. Your work can't be outsourced overseas. And to ensure this, you just need to be creative. And I can't guarantee this for the future, but AI at this point is not extremely creative. And for sure, these people from overseas are not creative at all. So if you want to ensure your success, you need to have high demand, you need to be the best, and you need to be irreplaceable.